Hey guys, what is up? Just a quick video and trade breakdown on Aussie dollar on a trade that I took yesterday. So hope you guys enjoy and let's dive straight in. So starting on the daily time frame, what can we see? Well, daily time frame is of course bearish, with this being your swing high, this being your swing low. So overall, we're looking for further downside continuation from Aussie dollar. Overall, if we look at what happened and occurred within this range, because remember inside or in the weekly market outlook, I did mention that we're very choppy, or that we are experiencing very choppy price action. We could see, if we just focus on change of characters, is that we saw a change of character on this high, which meant bullish. Okay, we saw some slowdown within these areas of demand over here. However, what then occurred was that the low which broke this high got broken again over here, so we saw another bearish change of character, potentially indicating that further downside was then once again a possibility. So in regards to the daily, that is pretty much what I saw. And overall, of course, I'm always interested in looking for shorts, playing the daily new potential swing in towards the downside, with daily being bearish. So that's daily. Now looking at the 4 hour, oh yeah, by the way, we still have this doji candle over here, which is currently acting as an area of supply. Just keep that in mind. So that's daily. Now diving in towards the 4 hour, what occurred over there? Well, the 4 hour saw of course a break of structure on this 4 hour swing high over here. So what do we expect after a 4 hour break of structure? We expect a pullback, right? And then potentially further upside continuation in line with the overall swing trend on the 4 hour, because the 4 hour is kind of like my main time frame on which I look to establish, okay, am I going to be going long or am I going to be going short? However, we always have to keep in mind what kind of market structure breaks we're seeing. So over here, what happened on this 4 hour high is that we saw a break of structure. However, the break of structure was very minimal, right? It was more just a liquidity grab. We tapped above this high over here, and then straight away we dumped aggressively in towards the downside, saw a pullback in towards the supply zone which was created pretty much, and then again further downside continuation. So I'm just keeping in mind that, okay, we saw a 4 hour break of structure. Of course, we can see then a new, let's say, higher low established, and we can see a new higher high established then once again. However, the overall nature of this break of structure is more like a liquidity grab, so I am keeping in mind that is more like a 50-50 chance that we're going to see just further downside continuation in line with the overall earlier 4 hour swing trend. Next to that, what I also liked was the fact that we had a supply located over here, which was not touched upon in the first instance, making this pretty much just your liquidity high, tapping in towards supply and then dumping and selling off. So therefore I am kind of like interested in potentially looking for shorts. Now looking at the internal structure of Aussie dollar, of course bullish over here, then bearish up, bullish again. But then what happens over here, we see a break of the internal structure and we see a pullback. So of course, preferably always want to see kind of like a pullback at least in towards the 50% of the overall internal range, or at least into, let's say, this area of supply, but it does not have to occur. If we see like this pullback, this could already be the pullback of the overall swing range. Just keep that in mind always, especially if you have that lower time frame confluence. So over here, what we had was this area of 4 hour supply in this buy before the sell-off. This buy before the sell-off pretty much broke all of these lows over here, making it, to some extent, pretty much a strong area of supply. The only thing I did not like was the fact that there's no kind of like liquidation in that move down, making it higher probability for the overall supply zone to get run. Now diving in towards the 15 minute, because this is of course where it gets more interesting. If we look at the overall 15 minute, there's kind of like one major difference. So I was mentioning that I need to kind of like see liquidation right over here in that move down. However, if the supply zone is created by liquidation itself, then it's kind of like less relevant, because as we can see over here, this is your area of supply, and before that area of supply was created, we pretty much saw a run of all of these highs, right? So all of these equal highs pretty much got swiped out, boom, getting buy side liquidity and selling off very aggressively. So I do know that there's a lot of supply located, and of course that is what we saw in the future. So that's something that I kept in mind. Next to that, kind of like additional confluence, despite there not being liquidity over here in the move down, we did kind of like see these highs and the kind of like this corrective ascending price action be created, which for me is always a sign of slowdown. Always when you see kind of like this ascending corrective price action, it's very likely that the market is going to sell off. If it's descending price action, it's very likely that the market is going to kind of like buy up again. So in this particular situation, I already could see, okay, we have this ascending slowdown price action. Let's start looking for longs. Personally, it's not in my strategy to just sell off an area of supply or buy on an area of demand. So in this particular situation, I was waiting to see, okay, what's going to happen once we come in towards the area of supply. So we came in towards supply, kind of like saw this slowdown. We saw this high over here, broke, retraced, high broke, retraced, high broke over here, and then boom, V-shaped reaction. And once you see these V-shaped reactions, you know that there's a lot of supply coming into the market, like a very literal V. If you turn, of course, the chart around, it's going to be a V. Now it's an N, so you can also call it like an N-shaped reaction. So we saw that V-shaped reaction back down into the downside. This doji candle being your supply, which broke, of course, this low. This is your change of character low. So what I just wait for is I wait for price to come in towards my 15-minute zone, stacked with a 4-hour zone. Then boom, what happens? We see a change of character on this low. So the low over here is then established. Then I know, okay, I can set my order, stop loss above the highs. We see pullback in towards the area of supply, and then boom, tap out again, and we start moving in towards the downside, towards my take profit. I was looking, okay, where is my target going to be? Well, we had, of course, a very obvious area of demand pretty much over here, which took out this area of supply. So for me, this is kind of like an area where I want to see price react, and I want to see how price comes in towards there and how it reacts. Of course, I could see that price started to slow down, so I also adjusted my target accordingly, putting my area of take profit, my take profit level, into this order block pretty much halfway. It's one of the strategies that I use for take profit taking, and then pretty much just close it out there for 1 to 4.18. So yeah, that's my Aussie dollar trade. Hope you guys enjoyed. By the way, one additional confluence that I used was the dollar index, which I always use. And as you can see, we pretty much came in towards this area of 4-hour demand over here, which for me was an additional confluence for Aussie dollar to then sell off, because if the dollar moves up, it means dollar gets stronger, means Aussie dollar goes down. So yeah, that's the Aussie dollar trade. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just a quick breakdown. If you have any questions, just let me know. As you can see, I'm super transparent in my strategy. It's not kind of like rocket science whatsoever. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know, and make sure to show some love on YouTube, because over there on your dollar, I did an even more extensive breakdown. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned, because I'm going to be dropping another YouTube video tomorrow. Thanks guys.